The MotoGP world has been in an uproar once again after news of Marc Márquez's latest injury broke, shaking up the dynamics of the 2026 competition immediately. While many were concerned, Pedro Acosta seemed content with the situation, sparking intense speculation in the paddock. Could this injury drastically change the MotoGP standings next season? Let's discuss. Marquez, who concluded the 2025 MotoGP season with the remarkable achievement of securing his 9th Premier Class World Championship, reportedly suffered a serious injury during a training session before the new season began. The incident occurred during a crucial preparation phase when riders typically focus on refining their bike's technical aspects and their own physical condition. Instead of an official race or fierce competition on the main track, the accident occurred during a training session designed to perfect small details before the start of the competition. According to sources in the paddock, Marquez was attempting to increase his speed on a technical track with a series of fast corners when the incident occurred. In an effort to push the limits of his bike and his own performance, he suddenly lost traction on a high-speed corner. Marquez was thrown off the track and crashed heavily, forcing the practice session to be halted. Within seconds, the normal atmosphere turned tense, and the team and crew rushed to assess the world champion's condition. The MotoGP medical team moved quickly to provide immediate medical attention after the incident. Marc Márquez was evacuated from the track conscious and able to communicate. However, his usually confident demeanour raised many questions. Initial examinations revealed that the injury was more serious than initially thought. The shoulder, a body part with a long and complex history of injuries in Marquez's career, was once again in the spotlight, raising concerns within the team. The injury sparked widespread speculation, particularly due to its timing. From the start, the 2026 MotoGP season has been predicted to be one of the most competitive in the past decade, with fierce competition between manufacturers and top riders. The official race schedule has been released. Preparations for live broadcasts in various countries are underway, and fans around the world are counting down the days to the opening round. However, amidst this enthusiasm, a major question remains. Will Marc Márquez recover and return to the track in time for the start of the season? Ducati's official statement was delivered in a cautious and measured tone. The team emphasised that Marquez is currently undergoing further evaluation, and that a full diagnosis will only be confirmed after a series of intensive medical examinations is complete. To date, no specific details have been made public regarding the rider's physical condition. However, Ducati's secretive and cautious stance has fueled speculation and strengthened the suspicion that Marquez's injury is more serious than it seems. Meanwhile, his rivals' reactions on the track have also been interesting. Despite the notoriously tough, aggressive, and uncompromising nature of MotoGP, many riders have shown respect and empathy for Marquez's situation. One top rider called the incident a stark reminder that injuries can happen to anyone, regardless of status or accomplishments. This statement reflects the harsh reality of modern MotoGP, where riders push their bikes to extreme limits, and the gap between maximum performance and injury risk is narrowing. With Marc Márquez absent from the grid, the MotoGP world title race has shifted significantly. Francesco Bagnaia, Fabio Quartararo, and Pedro Acosta have immediately emerged as strong contenders. The sensational young rider Pedro Acosta is reportedly embracing this situation with optimism. He isn't belittling Marquez. He sees a real opportunity to dominate and play a central role in the fight for the world title amid more open competition. Amidst the flurry of speculation, Acosta commented on Marquez's condition. The young rider, touted as the new face of MotoGP, said he was surprised by the news of the world champion's injury, but still expressed great respect. Marc is an incredibly strong rider, both physically and mentally. Everyone knows what he's been through in his career, Acosta told the media in the paddock. If anyone can come back from a difficult situation like this, it's Marc. However, Acosta acknowledged that Marquez's absence would have a significant impact on the 2026 MotoGP competition. He considers this a harsh reality of the racing world, where every rider must be ready to capitalise on any opportunity that arises. In racing, We all want to compete against the best. But if someone is absent, of course, the competitive landscape changes. We can't control that. All we can do is focus on our own work, he added. Acosta's statement emphasized the rookie's mature attitude of respecting the legend while being ready to move forward. Ducati course general manager Gigi Dall'Igna stated that Marc Márquez is under close medical supervision. The team is taking a cautious approach and does not want to rush the world champion into retirement before he is fully recovered. According to Dall'Igna, the team's primary focus is ensuring Márquez's long-term health and preventing a recurrence of the injury. At the same time, Dall'Igna warned rivals not to take advantage too quickly. He emphasized that Márquez is not a rider who can be written off just because of an injury. History has proven that every time he returns to the track, he comes back with greater motivation and strength. Despite all the uncertainty, one reassuring fact remains for Ducati and Márquez's fans. The World Champion's contract is valid until the end of the 2028 season. Ducati has also emphasized that Márquez remains a key pillar of the team in the long term, especially in anticipation of the crucial 2027 MotoGP regulation changes. This complete trust demonstrates that the Italian manufacturer values Márquez not only for his physical condition, but also for his experience, technical acumen, champion mentality, and significant contributions to developing the bike and the team's future direction. Currently, Márquez is focusing on his rehabilitation process with a more conservative approach than in the past. He is undergoing controlled physical training and light off-road activities, as well as a gradual recovery strictly tailored to the recommendations of the medical team. Each training session is closely monitored to minimize the risk of re-injury. This approach is seen as a sign of Márquez's maturity in managing his physical condition. He has learned from the bitter experience of prolonged injuries that hampered his career in previous seasons. The 2026 MotoGP season has begun with a distinctly different and nuanced atmosphere. It's not just about who's the fastest on the track or the bravest at pushing the limits of performance. It's also about how a true legend faces the biggest challenge of his career. This challenge doesn't come from young, hungry rivals eager to take over. Rather, it comes from his own body, which has endured countless battles, injuries, and ups and downs. The MotoGP world remains uncertain, and every corner of the paddock, from teams to riders to observers, continues to discuss the same topic. All eyes are on Marc Márquez, the big name who never leaves the spotlight, and whether he can write another glorious chapter amidst the intense competition of a new era. Will he return in time to silence his doubters with a world-class performance once again? Or will the 2026 MotoGP season mark the beginning of an era dominated entirely by the younger generation? Share your thoughts below